Alright, for real this time. Southwest Adventure is an amusement park right in the middle of Peyton. It's decent enough that people come not just from Peyton, but cities up to 100 miles away to vacation here. Because of this, it's usually crowded and and today is no exception. Families and their kids are everywhere. It's a generally nice day, sunny, in the 80s, and it being on a Sunday added to the crowd. I didn't mind though. The point of this is to hang out with my friends.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm starving. Let's get some funnel cakes. Hell yes.
Funnel cakes rule.
Funnel cakes do rule.
So stupid.
Oh, Keith, that's one of the funniest jokes I've heard in a long time.
Wow, it's so funny that you didn't even laugh.
It took me a minute, that's why I didn't laugh. That's genius, Keith.
It was really stupid.
So funny that I couldn't laugh because of how genius it was.
Just because both words sound like the other two words, that's the whole joke. Huh?
I think I'll remember that one forever.
God damn it. Jesus, Carl, we just got here.
Hey, I didn't have any breakfast. Funnel cakes are basically breakfast.
You had breakfast, alright. A blunt with a side of the munchies.
Gee, oh my gosh, being high eating funnel cakes sounds like the best idea.
It's no problem. We can do that while I plan out what we're doing. Carl ambles off on his way to the funnel cake stand. Funnel cakes. Bye. I snagged one of the park maps from the entrance and I hand that to Leo. Alright, so usually when my family comes here, we go clockwise to hit all the rides.
That sounds like a plan.
Throws me off that they both have a yellow name.
Yeah, I know, me too, actually.
Yeah. Why isn't his name Orange? He's got orange stripes. It's pretty crowded today, so we probably won't be able to do everything, but in this order, we'll at least be able to ride Event Horizon. And then we'll go to hell.
Yeah, it sounds like, honestly, it's kind of an intimidating name for a ride.
You sure? The line is always so long for that ride. He's afraid of it.
Scared.
He's afraid of that ride. TJ's looking up toward a tall, spiraling electric ride steel roller coaster. It's definitely the most recognizable landmark in the park. You could see it from almost anywhere in Peyton. Yep, fastest and tallest roller coaster in the West. I think it'll be worth it. Oh. TJ rubs his arm with one paw, the corner of his muzzle twitching a little bit. I'd forgotten about that. He used to have a pretty pronounced motor tic, where the corner of his mouth would twitch up over and over again. It used to be a constant thing, but it stopped once he entered middle school. Guess it hadn't completely gone away. You alright, TJ? We could skip the big rides if you... Oh, hell. TJ, you're a fucking adult now. No, it's fine. I'm fine. I just haven't been on a roller coaster in a while. TJ snaps his head back towards us. He's all tensed up, and the movement looks like a rubber band being snapped. I'm riding all the rides with you guys. TJ walks off, his paws shoved deep in his pockets. I feel bad for him, and I want to give him an out somehow, but that's when Carl comes back with his funnel cake.
No out. No out. Deal with it. Ride the rides.
It's topped with ice cream, powdered sugar, and strawberries. I like these things more than the funnel cake, honestly.
You like what things? The ice cream and the strawberries?
Ice cream and strawberries, yeah.
I mean, you don't think those things are amplified by the funnel cake?
I've honestly always been kind of disappointed by funnel cakes.
Oh man, when you get the right carnival, like the fair ones, the really cheap ones that are fried and they're really greasy grease.
I think they have to be fried by like...
But it has to be the real gross carny. The carny ones are the best ones.
They've never blown my mind. I've always preferred churros.
Keith, there's a food truck in town that does churros with stuff in the middle. And I will take you there sometime. Anyone want to share?
Yeah, that looks really good.
No? Alright, I guess I'll have to eat the whole thing.
Great. Now I gotta wait for fat ass to finish eating. Carl pulls his face out of the cake. Even with his white fur, I can see the powdered sugar clinging to his chin.
Nah, I can eat it in line. We going on Event Horizon first? The wait will be an hour long at least.
The line ends up being 2 hours long, and by the time we get to the actual ride, I'm dying to get into a pool of any kind.
Knowing that he needs water so
would
constantly
you-
makes me worry about him now.
I don't think he needs it. He just wants
He's obsessed with it.
He just goes long times without it, and also he lives in a hot place,
What is
which
he
is
doing
not
here?
ideal. His parents made him.
They did make him.
Also, maybe an allegory for feeling out of place with the place that you live in, like almost like he's gay in a small
like
town.
a fish out of water.
Why would you go to a place that has 2-hour lines ever for
No,
anything?
You know, even
Ah.
yeah, I know. Honestly, if I see a 2-hour line, I'm just like, no. The ride itself is probably like 5 minutes of your time.
Yeah,
you know?
I wouldn't even show up to midnight releases of games early. I would just show up at like 11:50, and then just wait for the line to pass by. The people that just sit there all day, I'm like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
My ex
Why?
used to do that, and he did it for all the
Yeah.
stupid fucking Call of Duties, and I would just go visit.
That's actually part of how I met Andrew. We were in the same Cisco class, but we didn't talk because he was in the upper class half of it. Because there was 2 separate classes being taught in the same class at the same time because of how small the other class was. The second year class was like 5 people or something, so he just had to make one class work for both classes. Even my class, I think, was only like 15 people or something.
Damn.
Like, it was not a full class with 2 classes combined. But I met him at 2 separate midnight releases. One of them was for Rock Band 3. He was there for Fable 3, I think, and Force Unleashed 2, which are both bad games. And I was there for Rock Band 3, which was a good game.
The
end.
only release I actually waited for was for Fallout 4, and I was so disappointed I cried.
This is a reoccurring story.
I know. I'm
You've-
traumatized.
You've had trauma from how bad Fallout 4 was. And on a regular basis, I talk to people and they're like, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm like, what?
No.
Why did you ever like Fallout before?
I played it for like 14 hours straight, and I just like cried. It was like, it's not good. And my ex took me to get fries in the drive-thru, and while I was crying, he's like, no, it's good. Just give it more time. Like, it's good. And I'm like, no. Like, because he also thought No Man's Sky was good out the box, and I played like 2 hours of it. I'm like, no.
No.
No. Something's wrong.
Fallout 4 was the beginning of a really exhausting curve we're currently in, where I just have had to come to terms with the fact that, like, there's an entire portion of the gaming audience that plays open world games not really for, like, gameplay or story or meaning or any other element, but just as an endless amount of busy work. Just to do stuff for a
I like good writing.
very long time. And Fallout 4 is a game
There's a dialogue
just
wheel.
devours time.
I don't-
And that's almost all it's good for.
My character has a voice, and I hate it.
I installed a mod during my playthrough that made it show what your dialogue options actually were,
And they're not even
instead of the
fun.
summarized versions. Sometimes they're the same thing.
I'm sure they are, because I would answer something like happily, and I'd get like a sassy answer, and I'm like, I don't feel like that was the right one.
Yeah.
I liked getting like a paragraph for each answer I could have.
Yeah, but they're afraid of giving you that. But also, like, they were not able to make it anywhere near as graceful as the Mass Effect games generally were, because that's where they're taking it from. Is that game has a dialogue wheel and it has really quick versions of like quick summaries of the options.
Yeah, I remember
but
that.
Fallout 4 is like, not only was it hard to tell what the dialogue options even were going to actually say, but also they were often obscuring the fact that they just sometimes all of them or multiple of them just said the same thing as each other.
Well, as soon as
they just summarized them differently as if to imply they'd say something different, which is just
as
lying.
soon as I learned that it was voice acted, I was like, they're not going to have as many lines because
Yeah.
it costs somebody a lot of fucking money to make them voice act something. Why don't they just get more writers instead of getting a voice actor at all? I don't know, I was immensely pissed off. I was like,
But
I'm
thankfully,
never
the
gonna...
sequel was a massive increase in quality.
Yeah, dude, Fallout 76 is my favorite game of all time.
2 hours long. I'm fucking pissed at the concept of this, by the way.
Yeah, no, not worth it. Not worth it.
Even that water ride we went on wasn't that long, and that was long. And you've been to Disneyland, which is like lion hell or something.
It wasn't that bad when I went, but that was also like kind of during COVID,
Yeah.
and also like on a weekday.
To put it bluntly, an otter needs water.
An otter needs water.
Part of the problem of living in Echo meant that we didn't have any kind of indoor pool system in our house, being as cheap as it was.
That's what I was wondering last game.
Yeah. We ended up having to get an outdoor swimming pool, which was a pain.
It is a pain. Ask anyone who has one.
Yep. Nervous, Chase? I smirk at him. I've ridden it before, Leo. Though, your tail's kind of down. Are you sure you're not nervous?
You want to hold hands?
Eh?
Come on, Leo. Let's ride in the front. No, the back.
Oh, I don't know. I watch as Jenna pulls Leo towards the line for the front, which is twice as long as all the others.
Jenna, the back is the one with the most whiplash. You want the back.
Yeah, but also he wants to ride with Chase.
Yeah, I know.
How dare you? Jenna, do you not understand that you're the designated TJ person?
Yeah, stick with him because no one else wants to deal with him.
Jenna, you're stuck with TJ the whole trip. That's just the reality of the situation.
You're the only one who's nice enough to hang out with him.
I opt for the middle, and it just so happens that TJ comes with me.
He's like, damn it.
His tufted ears have been poking straight up the entire time, muzzle giving an occasional twitch. I lean over to him. You know, there's a exit over there for people who change their mind. I'll bet you can slip out without anyone knowing. Looks like not all of us are even going to be riding the same train. TJ stares straight ahead, clutching onto the railing. I can see his sharp claws unsheathed, pressed into the metal and chipping away at some of the red paint. No, I'm fine. You sure? Yep, perfectly fine. Well, we're in the middle, which is the best place to be if you don't like roller coasters. Uh-huh. Yeah. I really wanted to be able to get TJ to skip the ride because it seems like he's pretty determined to do it for some reason. Finally, our train comes along and I step in as two laughing and panting hyenas step out.
Oh, Keith wants to see the hyenas.
Draw them. It'll take hours and be on the screen for 1 second.
That it'll make Keith so happy.
Oh my god, that was the most intense. Holy shit, dude. I know. I never get scared out of rides and I almost fucking piss myself. God damn it. I do a quick check of the seat to make sure there isn't any actual piss before sitting down.
That's a good idea.
It's a good check. Oh, look at that face. Oh no, TJ. It's okay. You don't have to do this. I wouldn't. I absolutely would not get on this.
I would bully you into doing it, TJ.
No, I thought you meant me. I'm like, I did not do things I'm afraid of due to peer pressure.
I like you more than I like TJ, so.
Damn. Just being me, or just going after TJ.
Well, I mean, I should like you more than I like TJ.
I look up and see TJ standing on the edge of the platform. His eyes widen, one foot stuck out to get on. TJ? A bored-looking teenage fox comes by to check my lap bar, and I stick out my paw. Hey, wait. TJ, you getting on? The fox goes from looking bored to mildly annoyed.
If you're getting on, you need to get on now. We can hold up the entire ride for you, sir. The exit's that way, where other adventures await.
Where other adventures await, the line they're supposed to say. Excellent PR. He doesn't feel judged at all. People around us are starting to notice. Unfortunately, Flynn, who's lined up with Carl towards the back, is paying very close attention, grinning like he knew this was going to happen. He's such a fucking asshole. Aw, TJ, too scared? Guess you're a pussy after all, because he's a cat. It's targeted language.
That's speciesist.
What an awkward fucking word.
Yeah, it really
so
is.
Hard to say.
I don't think it's a real one.
It's made up for these kinds of stories.
Exactly. Shut up, Flynn. Hey, TJ. When it gets real bad, just say to yourself, at least I'm not gonna die. As far as you
Actually,
know.
a few people have. TJ. I yell up at him and that seems to jar TJ out of his trance. He almost falls into the car as he stumbles into it, fumbling with his shoulder restraints before the fox attendant sighs and leans down to do it for him. I can see the red on the insides of TJ's ears as he blushes, and I feel my own ears burn a little from secondhand embarrassment. Now that it's too late, I realize that we shouldn't have started with this ride. We should have started with something smaller to build up his confidence. I'm jolted back as the train moves forward. Oh gosh! TJ's paw lashes out and latches onto my arm. Oh no, why am I doing this? I reach out to try to move his paw from my arm and back onto the handle of his shoulder restraints. TJ, hold on to that. My arm, you're gonna... Chase, quiet! I pause, staring at the lynx. I'm really not used to hearing TJ yell. He's almost puffed out to twice his size. I just need some quiet right now, and... Our train begins its ascent to the first hill, and I can feel TJ's claws prickling through my fur into the skin.
Pretty sure you're definitely not supposed to take pictures like this when you're on roller coasters. I'm pretty sure they tell you not to do that.
Maybe it's a professional photo.
Maybe it could
Maybe
be.
it's just a ripped Six Flags photo that they just photoshopped for a second. And or look, this is legal to use, right?
Or when they do like the film test rides of rides.
Yeah. Actually, it's just a Photoshop of a roller coaster tycoon picture.
that would take a lot of work.
He starts mumbling quietly to himself, his eyes closed. TJ, are you praying? Yeah, that's why I needed to quiet. He's holding your hand and praying because he's about to fucking die. It's horror game start. He doesn't say anything, and soon we've reached the apex of the climb. Fuck this. I hate roller coasters.
I love them. I've been dying to go on some recently.
Have fun. I will hold your stuff.
You're that nice. You're like that one family member who goes to theme parks with people, but like watches like the stroller.
I just want to go on the water rides. I don't want any of the. I don't want to go on a roller coaster.
Jack Splash Mountain. It has that steep fall. You like ones that have steep falls?
No.
Then no, you don't like water rides.
No, I like the water ride we went on.
The one that don't have any drops at all.
No, you just go on. You're just on a big tube that fits like 8 people, and it just spins around and goes down a bunch of little rivers and shit. And then there's like that little like roulette wheel of like who's gonna go into the waterfall.
Oh no, that is
fun.
actually pretty funny.
There's a genuine tension to like. How's it gonna spin? Because every time it hits the banks, it spins differently. Like I can't gauge this. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Every ride, one person gets fucked, like just immensely fucked, and one person walks off like
they get hit
super
by
dry.
every waterfall. It's a genuinely fun ride. It's just it's just not the terror that you want to live.
It definitely is.
But like the line's really fucking long for a reason, and it's not because it's a low capacity ride. I give up on trying to move his paw and sit back, a little nervous myself. I really, really hope TJ doesn't completely lose it. I rinse the blood off my arm in a dirty theme park bathroom. It wasn't as bad as I thought it could have been, though TJ did start crying when we hit the first inversion. He had scratched the shit out of my forearm, grabbed it with both paws once we started the descent. Unfortunately, Flynn and Carl were still on the platform when we rolled back into the boarding station. Flynn looked ready to lay into TJ again, but when he saw the tears, he had the decency to hold back. That was a cool creative choice to just skip to the thing. I thought it was a nightmare.
Me too, dude.
I was like, is he having a vision? But it's just a hard cut to afterwards.
Because you and I were kind of like, ha ha ha, like, you know, because it's like, oh, you could die, and we're like, oh, you know, but I was like, did he fucking die? Did something horrible happen?
We both got dead quiet because like,
we were both evaluating the situation because it was like
just cutting to blood is like, oh,
it could be like a completely separate situation, just like I rinsed the blood off my hands and did this, and it could just be like a total segue. But it was that was like an interesting transition. It definitely caught my attention.
Yeah.
Kind of jarred me a little bit.
I helped the shaking Lynx out of the car, and somehow we managed to stumble into the bathroom where he quickly hid in a stall. I should have forced him out the exit. He's always had anxiety problems, though I think we all believed it was a childhood thing he'd gotten over. I don't know if he still takes his medication. Hey, TJ? Yeah? We should probably get back. Leo texted me that they're all waiting by the ride. Yeah, I'll be out in a second. The cheerfulness in his voice is forced. I ignore the weird looks I'm getting from the other people in the bathroom and instead inspect my arm. The scratches are pretty superficial, so the bleeding has stopped. No one would notice it under the thick fur, even if it's tender as hell. I hear the stall door open behind me, and through the mirror I see TJ come out. He sees me looking over my arm, and his face crumples up again. Chase, I'm sorry, is it bad? I really don't want him to start crying again. TJ cried a lot when he was a kid, almost every day, and even at 19 it seems he's still pretty susceptible.
So he's 2 years younger than everyone.
So he was 13. He was so fucking young.
Why did his mom drop him off in a, like...
His mom was hilariously misinformed.
Hilariously.
I mean, just so far out. Like, she's from her church group world or something. She just does not... I guess she just must not understand what kind of stuff even exists at Echo or something.
Everyone in town's
all
really
the kids
nice.
are having a party. So that she just like...
It's a Halloween party.
Yeah, that's why it's scary. Dropped him off as a 13-year-old in a fucking ghost costume.
Gosh, my parents would never.
Meanwhile, like, right next door, or what do you want to call it, they're filming, like, an underage porn. Like...
Yeah, definitely.
Like, that's not good. Was Leo in it or filming it? I don't know, but that's concerning.
I'm hoping this game will reveal a little bit of that.
They just... Yeah, I mean, they
kind of have to.
That van was the title screen of that game. Like, it's not like a throwaway detail. It's like, by definition, important.
Because as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's a danger van. That's like the one.
Like, you did not imagine this van. Like, there's too many hints that it's exactly what was happening.
And it had red lights
and
in
Leo
it.
was really concerned about whether or not he knew, and whether or not he saw what was happening in there. Red
lights are notorious for, like, prostitution because they make people look attractive. So it's like that Roxanne with the red light. There's like a whole thing with that.
Roxanne.
You don't have to put on the red light.
That was sorry, you brought up the song that is like one of like my baby stories.
Your baby stories
like,
is that song?
Like, you know, like your parents will like they'll just like retell like 3 stories too much basically about you being a kid or something.
Oh,
like one of them is me singing Roxanne before I knew words. So just making dumb noises basically, but it was like to Roxanne specifically, and it's like it's like a really iffy song for that to be the one.
Dude,
but yeah.
Next time I see your mom, I'm just gonna bring that up. I'm like, you know what song I really like? Roxanne.
I mean, it's better than all the small talk about furniture.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna bait baby stories.
Well, the baby stories I can laugh at because it's about you guys.
Yeah.
The furniture stuff, I'm like, yeah, that looks great.
Wow. Cool. What's it like having property?
What's it like owning furniture that's expensive?
I own a bed and a desk and some shelves.
Yeah.
And I didn't even buy this desk. And the bed and my bed frame is handmade.
What's it like to have furniture that's expensive you bought yourself? I was looking at a couch I saw inside the road the other day and I thought it looked pretty nice.
Oh, millennials, we're nailing it. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't even hurt. It does. Well, that's good. We stand there awkwardly for a few seconds, then I air out my shirt, which was starting to stick to my sweaty body. My sweaty bod. Listen, it's honestly getting way too hot for me to wait in lines all day. I think I'd rather just sit down and watch some shows or something. Oh yeah? Yeah, you want to do that with me? TJ's ears come up a little and he clutches his paws together, the fidgeting subsiding a bit. Yeah, Chase, I think that'll be fun. We should go to the shark tunnel.
Oh yeah.
The shark tunnel was cool.
It was.
That's just the one thing I wanted to do there. I think this is still the last time I was at a theme park.
I think
the one that predates you being on the channel.
There's a lot of good shark tunnels. I can bring you to some programs that have some really good shark tunnels.
Shark tunnels. I don't even like sharks. This is probably confusing to people in the audience. They're just a cool thing.
Everyone,
They're
dude,
cool
do people
things.
not like sharks? Is there someone out there who doesn't like sharks?
Well, I'm specifically known for not liking sharks.
Oh.
Like, in other
because it's
contexts.
Subnautica?
Well,
I mean, it's not sharks, but it's like
yeah.
sea
Well, yeah,
creatures.
the sea freaks me out, and sharks freak me out, but I don't feel threatened by the... I'm like, oh no, the sharks are gonna get me, and this shark...
I have a shark
like,
tattoo.
It's like irrelevant.
Because I respect them so much.
And I like, and then you get to the end, and you get to see the fucking... There's all the nurse sharks that are just hanging out on the bank, because they just sit still, and they're weird.
I went swimming with sharks once. Nurse sharks are the nice
Fuck
ones.
that.
No, nurse sharks are really nice. You can pet them
Yeah,
like dogs.
I know, but I don't want to be with sharks in the water. Not unless they're much smaller than me.
Well, I can find you some.
I've been bit by fish, which is mostly just funny, because you're like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? What is your goal here?
To eat you alive. What
I
are you
can
thinking?
defeat you easily. This is when I was in Hawaii, the big, dumb, stupid, like, they have like the yellow ones that have like the hump on their forehead and shit. They kept biting me. I'm like, this isn't working. I don't know. Stop.
They're like licking the salt off your body.
Gross. I can tell he's at least a little relieved. We both head out back toward the ride, and I spot the four of them waiting by the exit. I furrow my brow as I spot Carl crouched at on the ground, Jenna kneeling next to him and rubbing his back. Hey, everything all right? I think Carl threw up. Shouldn't have had that funnel cake before. Although, wait, it's been 2 hours.
Yeah.
Genuinely wondering how much is left. Jenna looks up, a sympathetic smile on her face.
Carl's not feeling too good.
You want to sit on a bench or something?
If I move, I'm gonna...
Oh, yeah. That's what you get for stuffing your face right before the ride 2 hours ago.
that is a good point to bring up. You think they sell ginger peels here, or ginger ale at least? Probably not, but if you have the first aid tent, they'll have it. Or they'll have something for nausea. They usually do. First aid tent's where it's at. Ugh. A joint would be nice.
There are some vendors over there. I'll go check.
They're not gonna have a joint, TJ.
I don't think he's just going, just as the Christian, I think he's used to just blazing past those lines and just ignoring them. I'm actually kind of glad everyone's preoccupied with Carl right now and take some of the heat off of TJ. Let's move you to a bench. It'll be better if you're sitting down. Slowly, Jenna and Leo lift Carl up, and now I can see from his face that he really is ill. To the average person, our little outing might already seem like a disaster, but this is perfectly typical for us. Nothing ever went according to plan. We sit Carl down at a bench and he bends over, his face in his hands as he moans softly.
Ugh.
TJ comes back with a medium-sized cup in his paws. He sits next to Carl. No ginger ale, but they did have lime soda.
They can't say Sprite or 7-Up.
I think you can? I don't know the rules for just mentioning products and stuff, exactly. I'm not clear.
They probably just were playing it safe.
Carl takes it and sips a bit of it before sitting back and belching.
Ugh. Fuck it. I'm done, guys.
What? What are you gonna do all day? Sit there? Actually, me and Chase are gonna go see some shows. You can come with us. Ugh. Guys, we were doing this to hang out with each other, remember? Then come with us, loser. So we have the majority now. Leave them. We're wasting time. Flynn turns and walks off, his hands shoved in his pockets, hunched like a stone gargoyle. He definitely looked the part, being a lizard. Damn, that was probably a bit speciesist. Said it's too much.
Am I speciesist?
Oh my god.
Well, we all have our phones. Text us, alright?
I can't be a speciesist. My best friend, some of my best friends are
My best
species.
friend's a lizard. I can say gargoyle if I want.
What even type of creature are gargoyles?
Well, I mean, they're not, like,
They're just shapes.
I mean, gargoyles look a million different ways, so it's really
They
hard
look
to
like
say.
Goblins, basically.
Yeah, but they have
kinda.
reptile features, I guess. I don't know.
Sure. I don't know why they jitter so much when they slide away. It's like a weird frame rate problem or something. I don't know. Jenna turns and follows Flynn, but Leo hesitates a moment. He looks at me before eventually turning to follow Flynn and Jenna. 5 minutes later, Carl's stomach settles to the point where he's able to get up and walk. At this point, I'm completely wiped out, and I just want to sit down. Leo's having a crisis because he just wants to spend the whole time with us, and everything keeps pulling them away. He's just commit. No. No. It's in the air. It's just open air. There's nothing overhead. No.
Yeah, dude, most things that, like,
No.
dude, at theme parks, this is, like, the standard.
No. And Marine World, they often have a thing over you. This is a nightmare.
Marine
You're
World
just-
sucks.
You're just sitting in the sun the whole time. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff wrong with Marine World, but at least
No,
they have
I
shade.
was gonna say, I don't remember there being shade.
Well, we didn't
in
go
half
to any
the
shows because you didn't want to see the whale
we
abuse.
didn't go to Marine World.
The place was called Marine World
It was a
when I
Six
grew
Flags.
up. Yeah.
Oh, that explains why.
Yeah. You know, me and my brother call it Marine World because we grew up with it being called Marine World, but now it's called Six Flags Discovery Kingdom or something. With the terrifying dancing
Oh
old
gosh,
man.
yeah, I remember those commercials.
Yeah, but before, it used to not be a Six Flags, and they didn't change that much. They just added a little superhero bullshit at some point. But it's mostly the same place it was when it was not called that.
I remember I used to go to Marine World. I wonder if that was Marine World for me.
Probably.
I just
don't think
remember
there was
when
another
I was a
one.
little kid, I told my grandma I never wanted to go again because I had one of the shows with the dolphins, and we sat on the side, and you could see behind the stage, and I saw where the dolphins live, and I was like, Grandma, I don't want to ever go here again. And so I haven't gone for years and years and years and years.
Yeah. But yeah, that place has shade. It's just we didn't go to any of the shows because of all the animal abuse. And that's the shows, is the animals.
Yeah, that one, and then my other grandma used to take me to the Ringling Brothers Circus. And they hand out pamphlets at the end of one of the shows once, and I was like, yeah, no. Let's go to Disney on Ice instead.
I point out the first stage we see, and they agree. I sigh gratefully when I sit down.
You look tired as shit.
I crack an eye open to see Carl giving me a sidelong glance.
That's mean to say, Carl.
I don't sleep very well in motel beds. I actually woke up around 2? You were gone. Now TJ's looking at me too, and I feel my gut clench for a second. He means like, because he means passed out. I took that to being like the worrying version, like missing.
No.
I thought that like he woke up at 2 and Chase was... Oh no, he was! Yeah, I tried to go for a walk down the street. Hoped it would help me get tired.
Well, if that happens again, you can just walk over to my house. I'm up until like 3 every night.
Wow. Why?
Just playing Minecraft.
Carl shrugs, leaning back and sticking his hooves up against the chair in front of him, earning
so
him a dirty glance from its occupier.
Hooves are his feet.
Yes.
Paws are his hands. It's funny that they differentiated those.
Yeah. They mentioned foot pads and stuff like that too on the canine type people and stuff.
I wonder if he just does have hooves.
'Cause that's all the clopping he was doing before. 'Cause he's not good for stealth. So if we ever have to like Silent Hill away from a pyramid head or something,
We're leaving
wherever
Carl
the fuck
behind.
Things go. Yeah. We have to put his feet in bags.
Games mostly.
I'm just
Sometimes I read.
I'm just anticipating the horror because I have no idea what form it takes.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. That's why when that bathroom scene showed up, I was like ready
Oh
for
god,
it.
here it is.
But I was like, okay, no, not yet.
Carl rubs his chin, opening his muzzle, closing it, then opening it again.
You know, it would be pretty cool if we spent the night one of these days. The house can be creepy as hell when you're the only one in it.
You're alone?
Yeah, parents are vacationing in the regal paradise, having a bloody good time, they tell me.
Carl tries to put on an accent, but it doesn't do a very good job of it. Oh, did you want to go with them? Carl blows a raspberry, laughing.
Not really. Mom told me right away that weed isn't legal there either. So I took that as them not wanting me to come along.
Oh.
They did say that the chocolate there is real, whatever that means. And they'd bring me some. Guess I'm not enough of a fat ass yet.
Come on, Carl.
But dude, I'm getting there. Soon all I have to do is stand in front of the mirror, block out my face, and jerk it to my moves.
Alright, so he still talks the way he did in the prologue.
Hey man, whatever gets your goat.
He's just a lot.
I'm not just saying
My
that because you're a ram,
perfect
but
waifu with her 2-foot dick and
yeah.
I make a dumb, snorting, croaking sound, and I can feel TJ looking at the two of us disapprovingly.
Did you say 2-foot dick?
Yeah.
Not the hardest thing to do when you're high.
Wait, so you've actually done it?
Oh.
Carl shrugs, smirking at me. I reach out and grab his chest. From what I can tell, there's a pretty firm set of pecs under there. Carl puts a mock, horrified look on his face.
Sexual assault. He touched my breast.
Oh, whatever, Carl. They're harder than mine.
I have something else that's harder than yours. So now we're teenage girls in the locker room comparing racks.
Hey, you're the one that brought up tits.
We don't do that, by the way.
But in all the 80s movies where someone looks through a keyhole...
And Porky.
Are you telling me movies are fake?
When I was a kid, I saw
And that the women are written by men?
I saw Revenge of the Nerds, which has a lot of issues. Looking at
isn't that
one now.
Isn't that like the really rapey one?
Yeah, where he literally pretends like he's her boyfriend and has sex with her at the end. But there's a whole like legitimately 5 to 10 minute scene of like a drone going through the sorority and just like 30 naked chicks. And of course beforehand they're like having pillow fights and wearing lingerie and like doing that stuff. Dude, I'm wearing men's boxers right now. Like.
What a transition.
I'm just saying, like it's not. No girls do sexy stuff if they're not trying to like, I don't know, trying to fuck someone. Like,
what do they get to in their free time? Oh, clip their nails.
Paint our nails and...
Eat some of them.
That's definitely true. You know what? I can see it. Yeah. You're the hot, preppy one everyone likes. I'm the big fat chick you're all nice to, but called Big Thunder Mountain behind her back. And TJ hadn't been paying attention, distracted with watching some dancers come up on stage. He looks innocently at us. Huh? You're the cute, naive Christian chick that only takes it up the butt instead of stay a virgin.
He doesn't know the context of the line.
In Mean Girls, they're like, oh, it's God's blind spot.
Oh my god. What? Fingers go up.
Let me feel your boobies. I want to compare. Dude, oh my gosh.
I mean, he's jacked.
When guys say boobies, I get so grossed out, man.
Boobies.
Boobies.
What in the world are you No.
Small but perky.
After a few seconds of tussling and Carl getting smacked on the nose by TJ, somebody shushes us from behind and we're forced into silence. The show starts off with a bunch of mice having a weird sort of hoedown. TJ's really into it and actually starts clapping along. He's just so innocent. I smile. TJ could definitely be kind of cute sometimes. Carl just rubs his nose and leans back, watching with a smirk, as the whole thing is a joke to him. At this point, my eyelids were feeling really heavy. At most, I'd gotten maybe 4 hours of sleep last night. I think about leaning my head back, but the backs of the seats are pretty low, and I just end up with my head hanging over the back.
Oh, I hate those low seats.
Leaning forward would just be impossible. I could lean onto one of my friends. I don't think they'd mind. Huh?
Ooh!
Do 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 do. do, 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 do. All right. Sounds like a save point.
Well, I'm just gonna say
we're gonna lean on Carl.
Carl's more comfy looking.
Yeah.
TJ's he's a bony boy.
And we're bestest friends and whatnot.
And plus, I think Carl's really chill. TJ's kind of uppity
and taller. There's like a lot of logistical reasons why it's not a good idea just to lean on TJ.
Yeah, we'd probably crush him.
Carl is definitely the better choice.
I thought you just pushed TJ out of the way.
Bigger and probably softer. He'd make a nice pillow. Carl, I'm gonna use you as my bed.
Huh?
I put my head on his shoulder and closed my eyes, feeling the soft, puffy, sleeveless hoodie as his bulk under my cheek. Weirdly enough, he was pretty damn sturdy. I'd expected him to feel like a pillow puff.
Damn, Chase. You that tired? Well, alright then.
I feel him shift and suddenly he's putting an arm across the back of the bench, giving me more support. The amicus pose. Like when they're in the the tub, the spring, whatever.
The what's it called? It's like you're in the movie theater and it's like,
yeah.
One time I went fishing and I caught a fish this big, and you just wrap your arm around the other person.
Boyfriend puts his arm up so that you can more specifically fit into the curve of his body.
But sometimes it's just fucking really uncomfortable, and you're just like,
you have to be exactly the right shapes.
You're trying to help, but you're not. You're doing this for you, not for me.
The gesture makes me feel a little warm. I can feel TJ's eyes on us, but I ignore him, enjoying the position of intimacy. The sounds of the clapping and fiddles starts to drift away as the lack of sleep takes its toll. Are we gonna get a scene?
Ooh.
I feel along the rough edges of the rock and dirt. The only thing I can hear is the shower of debris I'm knocking to the ground. The air is stale, and I have the vague feeling that I'm suffocating. I keep going. I'm gonna reach the end eventually. Just have to keep moving. I can tell that I'm going down, deeper and deeper. The space around me is growing smaller and smaller, and soon I'm hunched so that my head doesn't scrape the ceiling. I can hear footsteps, not quite in synchrony with my own. They aren't any kind of footsteps I've heard before, though. I stop and listen. There's definitely the sound of feet, but not like they're walking. It's like they're stamping down on the ground, making as much noise as possible. This is accompanied by a slapping sound, as if someone is smacking their paws on the ground as well. I imagine a canine toddler still insisting on walking on all fours while throwing a tantrum. It's heavier, though, like an adult is doing it. That image makes the nape of my neck prickle.
Creepy.
But I'm not scared. It's not long after I've stopped that the noise stops as well, just 10 feet behind me. I lurch, watching the darkness. I knew you'd come back. They always do. My voice sounds clogged, muted. Like the rocky walls are just sucking up the sound instead of bouncing them around the tunnel. The stamping starts up again, loudly, coming toward me at full speed. Now I can hear sobbing, sniffling, and a strange guttural grunting. It's just feet away. You're only moving in circles. It veers away just as the words leave my mouth, going back the way it came. I stand there a while, listening until I can't hear it anymore. I turn and continue on, feeling the walls again as I make my way lower and lower. The smell hits me right as my paws hit it, slick and slippery. Blood coats the walls my paws run along like thick oil. It's warm and fresh, and now I know I'm getting close. A voice abruptly echoes down the tunnel. It's not far away at all. I knew you'd come back. They always do. I make my way closer and closer, and now fear prickles my heart. They always do. I hear muffled screams now, as if someone's yelling with their mouth closed. Now the fur is standing up all over my body, but my feet won't stop. I keep going. I'm getting closer and closer. You're only moving in circles. I'm here. It's right here in front of me. And now I'm reaching out to it, reaching out to touch it. I can't stop. I can't stop.
Oh, fuck.
I jump. My head jerks up and my eyes snap open, looking around wildly. It's like I just came up from being underwater too long.
Shit.
Whoa! TJ and Carl both jump shortly after I do. I look back and forth as they stare wide-eyed back at me. It takes me a second to realize that I'm still at Southwest Adventures, at the stage, watching shows.
Jesus fuck, dude. You alright?
Carl! I lean forward and rub my face against my paws, trying to stop shaking. I'm fine. I'm fine. Just a really bad dream. I feel a small paw on my back as TJ rubs it. What about? I'm not really sure. Just in a really dark place, and some things were in there.
Huh. It does sound pretty creepy. What kinds of things?
I think for a minute. The weird crawling thing, the screaming thing. I pull my head up, looking towards the stage, which is empty now. It doesn't matter. It was just a dream. Hey, what happened to the show? Carl chuckles next to me, leaning back again.
You missed him, dude. We've seen like 3 shows.
Yeah, they even had a segment with otters doing water tricks. We thought about waking you up for it, but you were in a really deep sleep.
Oh, that's funny. So they're just like dance performers, but they're otters.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're dolphin people.
Everyone's just showing off their talents. It's a talent show, basically.
I like that better.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They probably get paid money.
Yes. Yeah, they probably do, Stephanie. They're probably not like some surprise otter slaves.
Well, I mean,
in this universe.
they ate beef earlier, so.
I don't know what to make of that. I mean, there could still just be cows, normal cows, and cow people separately.
As this guy who's definitely related to a goat stands here.
Yeah. That's too bad. I always love seeing my people laughed at for the swimming clowns that we are.
You guys are adorable swimming clowns. Very fun.
How long's it been? Carl checks his phone, which he already has out.
Oh, fuck. Sorry. Been about 3 hours. Jeez, I'd be so mad if people let me sleep for 3 hours in a public place.
In the sun. I guess they have fur, so they're not constantly getting sunburned, but I'd be like, I would not want to fall asleep in the sun for 3 hours. Oh no.
You just miss everything.
Month ruined.
Been about 3 hours. Probably get some lunch now.
Damn, I've been out for a while. I'm surprised I hadn't at least woken up a few times, considering the uncomfortable position I'd been in. Yeah, just none of them got up for 3 hours. It's kind of wild. I guess you feel better then?
Yeah, I've been feeling better for the past 2 hours. Now I'm hungry.
It's already 2 p.m. and I've composed myself for the most part, so I take my phone out to text Leo.
Oh, weird.
It's always a cracked screen. Nobody takes care of their phones.
I mean, it's just like real life.
We're kind of hungry. We should meet back up.
I don't remember seeing a hand last time. We haven't seen a hand before, right?
There might have not been a hand before, yeah. Now you get, like, distressing photorealism.
It's funny because he's holding his phone up like all the way to where it covers his viewpoint, which is something that nobody does.
Yeah. It's just it's like how you can't think too much about every first-person game you play.
Yeah, because this stuff happens all the time.
Your character's hands are acting really weird. They do everything in front of their face, including hold their gun, which, like, they're clearly hip firing, but they're hip firing from, like, their chin. It doesn't make any sense. He gets back to me pretty quick. Okay. Mostly done with rids anwe.
On what?
Meet at food crew. We meet Flynn at a table in the food court where he's already bought some pizza. Carl, location change. I just caught up and then realized. See you guys next time.
Adios. Food next time. More horror, perhaps.
Once again.